So you're getting into overcoming isometrics, but you don't have an isochain or a Bullworker to know if you're making any quantifiable progress. So how do you know if you're actually getting stronger? Now, I, for one, am a big believer in the idea that results should be very self-evident whenever you start a new discipline in fitness or attempt to try and make a change, like with weight loss or something. You shouldn't need to be someone who's like meticulously counting numbers. It should basically smack you upside the back of your head and be like, wow, that is such a big difference, which was exactly the case for me when I started isometric training. I didn't have an Isochain. I didn't even have this iso trainer. I had a bed sheet. And so I just started pulling on the bed sheet in an effort to make my back and biceps work harder like I am right now. And within just a few days, I noticed a very dramatic improvement in how much tension and strength I had in my back. One of the biggest myths in all of fitness is that if you don't have a way to quantifiably measure your progress and results, then you're just kind of in this blind fog, completely unaware of any improvement in progress whatsoever. And that simply is not the case. A lot of what we experience about changes in our body are subjective, not necessarily objective. Furthermore, we can even fool ourselves into thinking we're making progress by manipulating objective variables, kind of like how many push-ups you can do. If you just make the technique easier, shorter range of motion, all that sort of thing, you're like, yeah, my numbers are going up, when in reality, you're not actually getting that much stronger. Now, ideally, you have as many different points of data to work from to measure and assess progress. So it's not just how many reps you do or how much tension you can put into a piece of equipment, but both objective and subjective points, because the more information you have coming in, the more you can assess and accurately gauge what's really going on. But that doesn't mean that the subjective variables, like just how hard do you feel your muscles tensing, or do you even feel the muscles working together as one unit, like when I do my chest press here? Do I feel my chest engaging with my triceps, with my shoulders? Do I have good scapular stability? A lot of those subjective things are really what we base a lot of our progress on, especially in the more advanced stages in our training career. And I know a lot of people in the past with both intuitive training and intuitive eating have brought up the argument that, well, yeah, that's great if you're really tuned into your body and you're more advanced like that, but a lot of people aren't. To which I say, well, get there. That's one of the most valuable things you can do with your body, and being able to make progress and knowing what it really needs to make that advancement is to be able to feel your body in a much higher level and be more sensitive to things like muscle tension, energy levels, technical progression, appetite, all those other sorts of things. Even if you have that quantifiable data, if you're still rather numb to the sensations going through your body, I would argue that makes you far more blind to your progress and training needs than any amount of objective quantification from a device. And one of the great things about overcoming isometrics is it's a fantastic way to build up that intuitive sensitivity. For example, if I'm doing my rear flies, are you working more in the upper traps, middle traps, or lower traps? Is there a discrepancy there? Is your upper right trap working harder than your left upper trap, and so on? It's a great training tool for building sensitivity so you can maximize the objective ability to measure and feel progress. So while such quantitative measurements are fantastic, they're not entirely always necessary, especially, I would argue, at the beginning of an isometrics training career, or if you're like me and you're using isometrics largely to dial in some of those more subjective, softer qualities of how well you're using your muscles. Then you can also use other objective quantifications, like how much weight you lift or what technique you're using in calisthenics, to measure if you're actually getting stronger, and the isometrics is a supplement to that quantitative, objective strength training modality. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of something to work with. Let me know if you have further questions down below. Be fit, live free.